fastest way to land the job you really want right now is by using LinkedIn. In this video, I'm sharing 3 little-known LinkedIn job search hacks to help you land that perfect position. Don't settle for being just a number or a file on a recruiter's desktop. It's time for you to navigate the job search maze on LinkedIn and stand out from the crowd. From leveraging your network to tapping into the power of job alerts, I've got the insider tips and tools you need. So grab a notebook, grab your favorite pen or pencil, sit back and get ready to take your LinkedIn job search to the next level. Let's jump into it. So the very first thing, let's talk about how to maximize your job search potential and how to unlock the power of LinkedIn's jobs section. If you're not already on LinkedIn, I want you to open LinkedIn. You're going to go through this exercise with me, okay? When you are logged in, you can either click on the jobs tab at the very top. I have an arrow pointing to it, or you can just go to linkedin.com/jobs. If you're logged in, it's going to take you to the jobs tab. Now, the very first thing I want to talk about is how you're browsing recommended jobs, okay? Because this is super important. We all know that you could spend hours and hours and hours browsing jobs. I don't want you to do that because number 1, it's going to waste your time. Number 2, it's going to kill your confidence. Or number 3, you're going to get very frustrated. So we don't want you just to browse whatever's out there. So we're going to get very specific with your browsing habits, okay? We're on the jobs feature. When you go to the jobs tab, you're going to notice on the left-hand side, we're going to go through some of these items on the left-hand side, but in the very middle of your screen, you're going to see some sections. Now, LinkedIn sometimes switches these up, sometimes adds some different sections. The ones that I want you to look at is what it's recommending for you. And then if we look down below, you'll see more jobs for you. The recommended for you, that's what LinkedIn is giving you based on a couple things. They're basing it on your search history on the platform. They're basing it on your profile. They're basing it on your activity. Like if you've liked a post, commented on a post, yada, 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 okay? So think about that. Now, the other thing you'll see in this section, which is not on my screen, is you should see something like, let's say there was a position that it could apply to you that you do match up with it slightly. It will show like still hiring. So jobs that maybe you missed, that you didn't apply for, that maybe have been posted for some time now. So you can look at those. But let's get a little bit more specific with how this list presents, okay? If I click on the My Jobs tab, again, that's just that little alert there on the left-hand side, I can take that recommended jobs and I can actually save it. So let's say, for example, I don't have a lot of time right now and I'm just glancing and I'm like, oh, this position might be great for me. I'm going to save this for later. So you can actually save that to your Jobs tab if you want to for later to apply. Next screenshot that I want you to look at, so again, we're still on the Jobs tab, is I want you to look at who works for that company that you might already know. This is why developing connections on LinkedIn is so important. Now, the other thing I want you to keep in mind with this screen is you'll be able to see how many applicants have applied for the position. So in this case, I see that there's 5 applicants. Now, you're hopefully looking at your own recommended for you jobs and you're seeing how many people have applied, so on and so forth. The other thing I want you to pay attention to is it will show you if you can do the easy apply feature or easy apply button. That's where you use your profile to apply for a position. Now, I'm going to show you all of this, so don't get super overwhelmed. We're going to take it step by step as we go through this training, okay? Let's say that I click on this position or I click on any position that it's recommending for me, again, based on my profile, my search history, and my activity. What I want you to pay attention to is a couple things. Now, this is a really well-written job description. I see who's hiring for the job. Not all postings will show you who's hiring. I also can see that this person who's hiring has added some skills. Now, this is super key, you guys. The skills that they add are skills that, number 1, you should have either in your headline or your about section on your resume. These should be skills that you're talking about in the interview. Okay, so in this example, it says, strategic alliances, client relations, and then there's one more. Well, what I would do is I would find really awesome career stories around these key skills that they're listing here, because that's what's the most important to them. And that they're putting that on the profile or on the job description. So I want to speak to that. Now, not all companies will have this information, but let me tell you, think of this as your cheat sheet if it's there. Now, the other thing I want you to focus on is if it has that easy apply button. We're going to go through what that looks like in just a second here. Some of them will have it, some of them won't. And then about the job. Again, that is all you guys need to write an amazing profile, to write your resume, to write your cover letter, and to freaking ace your interview. And then to negotiate your salary. Like, this is basically all you need, this page right here. Now, the next thing I want you to focus on is, notice I'm still on the positions. I'm still looking at the positions. Well, notice that second job down for me. I have quite a few connections that work here. I want you to pay attention to those jobs. The reason why is because we know that when you have a referral inside the company, you're much more likely to get an interview and to get hired over someone who doesn't. I want to cover how to set up job alerts. So when it comes to setting up job alerts, this is such a great way to stay up to date on what postings are coming in and positions that are posted right away. The reason why this is super important is because we have found that candidates that apply for a position pretty quickly after it's been opened, a lot of times they have preference or they're preferred over some candidates. We want you to get your application in as quickly as possible. So that's why we set this up. Now, all you're going to do is you're going to go back to the jobs tab. On the left side, you're going to select job alerts. Okay, let me show you how to set one of these up. It's super, super, super easy. When I click on job alerts, it's going to tell me that I have no job alerts. If I have job alerts, I'll show you what that screen looks like in just a second. So we're going to actually go through and set up a job alert, okay? So back on my screen, I can be anywhere on LinkedIn. I can be in my news feed. I could be on the jobs tab. I could be in my network tab. It doesn't matter. You're going to enter that ideal job title into the search box on LinkedIn. You can be anywhere, but notice it's going to start seeing that you're looking for, and I just typed in project manager position in jobs, okay? So I'm going to make sure I have the in jobs option selected. And what it's going to do is it's going to give me all the jobs that it has for project manager. Here's the thing you have to do. You need to narrow this down, because if you notice something, it's giving me 230,000 jobs. Well, I am not going to spend all that time applying for all 230,000 of those jobs. You'll notice on the right-hand side, you'll see all filters. You need to click on that all filters icon. I'm going to show you really quickly what you're going to do when you click on the all filters. You can filter by the date the job was posted. You can filter by experience level. You can filter by the company that might have posted the job type. If the job is an on-site or remote, you can filter by location, job function. Like, there's so many different filters you need to apply. You can even filter by salary. I want you to filter the crap out of your ideal job title, okay? Now, what's going to happen is once I apply those filters and I go through and I choose what filters I want applied, I want you to notice that I now have 27. Okay, so I went from 200 and some odd thousand jobs to now just 27. Now, this is totally workable, right? Doesn't that sound so much more doable than trying to sort through those 200 and yada, yada, yada? This is a perfect amount. This is where I'm going to be like, okay, I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm going to go line by line through these 27 jobs, or even if it's 10, I get to the top 10 and I'm going to apply for those positions. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to refresh your screen, and it's going to give you basically some new recommended job titles. After we get that, we want to go in and we want to take a look at our job alerts. So I'm going to go to my job alerts tab, and it's going to show me my job, and I can edit this or I can delete it if I don't want to have that job alert anymore. Now, the next thing I want you to keep in mind, if I click on the edit or the manage my job alert, I can tell LinkedIn how often do I want to be notified? Daily, weekly? Do I want to be notified through email? Through email and notification? How do I want to be notified? Okay. Then I'm going to save. That's just us managing. Once you save and you go back to that job alerts tab, I want you to select job recommendations. If you can put that job recommendations toggle it on, that's then where you're going to get a nice list of recommended jobs for you and not random jobs that you're like, I'm not going to apply for that job. Why is LinkedIn recommending me this job? Now, keep in mind, you guys, that recommended list is going to be based on your job alerts, based on your activity, based on your profile. That's why your profile needs to be totally optimized. Once you get that and you save your job alerts, you're going to start getting emails that look just like this. It's going to say, hey, you have a job alert created for blah, blah, blah in the United States or whatever country you set that alert for. And you're going to go through and you're going to say, oh yeah, every day I'm getting these alerts. Well, that position at Netflix or PayPal looks awesome. I'm going to go apply for those right now. Now, here's the cool thing about these emails too, is it's showing you your connections that work there. So if we go back to that template I just gave you, you're not only going to apply, but you're also going to send your connection a message. What job title will you set up an alert for on LinkedIn? Tell me in the comments below. And remember, finding the perfect job is not just about luck. It's about strategy, persistence, and utilizing the right tools. By implementing the tips I've shared with you today, you'll be able to make your job search a breeze and increase your chances of finding that dream job. And if you need a step-by-step guidance on how to write a really good resume, take a look at this video right here. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to tap the like button down below. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos just like this, and I'll see you in the next one.